Great. So whether your seat is comfortable cross-legged, kneeling, legs out, just coming down to our seat and taking a few moments of connecting with our breath. Spine tall, maybe a little wiggle to release the neck, to make sure that the neck is relaxed before we start our practice, before we start our day. And eventually landing in the center, settling here, and feeling that wave of breath from the belly rising up and filling all the way into the heart space. Maybe letting the breath out with a little audible sigh to help us settle even more. A couple of deep breaths like this, slowing it down, very conscious, aware of our breath. Rising from belly into the heart. One of the most important aspects of our practice, just starting out with this conscious, slow, rhythmical breath. And whilst you take these breaths, just to read a few sentences, a few words from our book, Fierce Medicine, this month. And she talks about a warrior's heart. So she says, I encourage you to develop a warrior's heart, an open heart that is responsive and reflective, meaning that when something comes in and touches the heart, it responds and bounces right back. Most people's hearts, however, are flabbied and atrophied and weak. Something comes in, love or hate, and the flabby heart energetically folds around it and encapsulates it. When we curl around pain, that's when it embeds. A heart has to be healthy to feel, to respond, and to flex. And particularly empaths, people who feel other people's feelings, especially need to be able to feel the world without letting its woes root deep within. Beautiful few lines. So my class, of course, is dedicated to the warrior's heart, keeping it strong, flexible, responsive. So we'll just start by bringing our hands to our heart. Take a deep breath in. And just feel the heart today. How is it feeling? Is it feeling full? Is it feeling overwhelmed? Is it feeling depleted or empty? We'll take a big breath in. We'll stretch the arms wide, opening them to the corners of your room. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then draw the hands back to your heart, and maybe even drop your chin. Let the back of the neck stretch. Inhaling again. Opening up the arms and exhaling the hands back to the heart. Good. This time we'll take the arms a little bit wider and higher. And as we exhale, we're going to pull the elbows towards the ribs, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then inhale, we're going to round forward, lean forward, let your fingertips touch. Inhale to open up. Exhaling to lean forward one more time like that. Inhale to open up. And exhale to lean forward. Perfect. We're going to open back up, but we're going to take the right hand to the floor, left arm up to the sky, opening the side of the heart side body. Inhale back into your cactus arms, and then over again, same side. Really reach from your hip into your fingertips. Inhale back into your cactus shape, and then over and reach. Perfect. Inhale back into your cactus shape and over to the other side. Left hand down, right arm reaches across. Inhale back to your cactus shape. And then reaching across. Stretch and open up through the side body. Inhale one more time. Reach it across. Maybe that left hand reaches even further down the mat. Elbow may bend. Perfect. Let's come all the way back up to the sky. And let's close the hands one more time back to our heart, giving ourselves a little bow. Okay, let's come over onto hands and knees, onto all fours. And as always, just wiggling things out, wriggling through the spine, through the hips. Let your shoulders move. Just an opportunity to check in with how things are feeling. Taking our time. Checking everything is awake, or at least starting to wake it all up. Okay, then we're going to drop the belly, draw the shoulders back and pull the heart forward. Push through your hands and round your back, chin towards your chest, curl the tailbone under. Inhaling again, drop the belly, open up the heart, draw the shoulders back. And exhale, push the floor away, rounding into the upper back. One more time, inhale, drop the belly, open up the heart, and exhale. Perfect. We're going to come back to all fours. We're going to take the right hand behind the head. Right elbow is going to lift up to the sky. And then we're going to try to touch the right elbow to your left elbow and do a little crunch. Inhale, open the elbow to the sky. Exhale, right elbow to the left arm, little crunch. Inhale one more time, elbow to sky. And then exhale, release the right arm all the way underneath. Come onto the top of your shoulder, side of your head, and pause there. Press through your left hand. Spin your heart towards the sky, active. And then just let your hat collapse again. So your chest is going to drop towards the floor. That left shoulder gets floppy. Pushing through your left hand, open up the heart. But feel how as you push down, there's a sense of muscular action there. There's a sense of strength as we twist. And then release, let it get floppy. Let it just sag towards the floor. And one more time, actively lift and open and pause there. Can we press into the right arm to support ourselves here as we lift the left arm up to the sky? Wrap the left hand around your lower back. Slide the fingertips towards your hip. Perfect. Keep a strong right arm, that arm that's supporting us. And then pull the left elbow and shoulder back a little bit more. And then just let it flop again. Kind of let everything collapse. And then pull it back. Nice and strong. Open. And then let it flop. Let it relax. One more time. Twist. Elbow pulls back, shoulder pulls back, rooting into the right arm. Feel strong there. And then left hand comes back to the floor, right hand back to the floor. A little wriggle of the spine, loosening it up. And let's tuck our toes. Let's come into downward facing dog. Pushing through the mat, spread the fingers and start to march out through your legs. Bending the knees one at a time, drop the head. Let the neck get nice and long. Beautiful. And then we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. Coming toward the back of the mat, let your head drop, your shoulders, arms are heavy, back of the neck is nice and long. Taking a gentle sway side to side. And then we're going to let the hips kind of sink towards the heels a little, rolling ourselves to come all the way up, one vertebra at a time. Shoulders lift up, pull them back, let them settle down. Let's take our hands to our lower back, fingers facing down, roll the shoulders back, elbows squeeze in. Inhale, lift the heart. Open up into a little back bend. As we exhale, let your shoulders round forward and the elbows pull together. Inhale, squeeze the elbows back. Lift the heart. And exhale, rounding forward. One more time. Inhale, lengthen the tailbone, pull the heart to the sky. Maybe take a little bit more of a back bend. This time, exhale, forward fold all the way down to the floor. Let your hands slide down your legs. Let them dangle or reach the floor. Let your head drop. Chin tucks upwards towards the chest. Perfect. And then let's walk ourselves forward into our plank pose. And we're going to drop our knees and we're going to pause here. Good. We're going to take our hands just a little bit wider. And then we're going to turn the creases of our elbows to face the front of the mat. Pitch your weight slightly forward so you feel the weight in your hands more than you feel it backwards towards your heels or over your knees. Feel the weight in your hands. And then you're going to slowly lower, bend your elbows. You might just stop halfway. You might be able to bring your chest all the way to the floor, but you're going to press yourself back up. Oh, that's it. We're doing little press ups. So again, weight shifts forward into your hands. You might just bend the elbows a little bit and straighten the arms again. Or maybe you can bend them all the way, chest towards the floor, pressing back up. Whew. Trying to get this heart, this chest nice and strong. See if you can do 2 more. It's okay if you're not going all the way to the ground. It's not a mandatory position. As long as we're just pushing some of the weight back up as we lower. Ooh. This time, let's come all the way down to the floor and then kick the legs back. Pull the heart forward and up into your back bend. Great. And then exhale, lower, and release. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Keep those shoulders away from the neck, those feet engaged, hands active. And then exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale all the way up. And let's lift the hips and pause here. We're going to walk the hands towards the top of the mat. Keep your hips over your knees. Keep walking your hands forward and eventually let your head and chest melt towards the floor. Think of your heart sinking. Roll the shoulders outwards so it feels like your armpits start to roll inwards towards one another. So your arm bones create a bit of space. And just breathe into that stretch all the way down the arms. That stretch across the chest. And if you feel that your chest is sinking low enough, you might even look towards your thumbs, looking towards the top edge of your mat. Let your chin rest on the floor. For melting heart pose. Perfect. And we're going to slowly lift ourselves up. Walk our hands back to all fours. And we're going to do the other side of our twist. The left hand comes behind the head. Inhale, the left arm opens up to the sky. Exhale, the left elbow towards the right elbow. Inhale, open it up again. Twist, ribs rotate. Exhale, left elbow towards right. Inhale to open. And then exhale, that left arm comes underneath, landing on top of the shoulder, landing on the side of the head, pressing down into the hand and spinning the ribs and chest. Good. So active and then passive. Let everything drop. Feel the difference of when you collapse and when you're really active, when you're really strong. And then let everything collapse. When we're active, we're being the most flexible. We're really twisting, opening the spine. When we're passive, when we're collapsed, nothing is really happening. All right, let's hold it active. Root into the left arm, lift the right arm up to the sky, and then take the right hand behind the lower back. Pull the elbow back, pull the shoulder back, open up. And then exhale again. Let everything get passive. Let it collapse. Elbow pulls back, shoulder pulls back, and then release. One more time. Pull it back. And then release. Drop the right hand to the floor. We're going to rise back up. Tucking our toes, lifting our hips. Let's walk our hands back towards our feet. Coming towards the back of our mat into our forward fold. Stretching through the back of the body. Feel the weight in the toes, weight in the ball of the foot. Drop the weight into the heels now and roll yourself up to stand. Ooh. Lift the shoulders, pull them back, and let everything unfurl. Perfect. Beautiful. This time we're going to take our hands behind our back, interlacing them. Squeeze the shoulders back, elbows squeeze together, and then press the knuckles toward the floor. It's a much stronger way of opening the chest and the shoulders. Good. Loosen up the neck here. Maybe you notice it gets a bit tense or locked. Perfect. And then press the knuckles down. Can we open the heart a little bit more? Lift up through the belly, through the chest. And then exhale, take our forward fold all the way down, head down, chin tucks up, knuckles toward the sky. Squeeze the shoulder blades a little bit more onto your back. And then exhale, release your hands. We're going to walk forward into plank pose. And then we have two options. We can either stay in plank and just lift the gaze forward, pull the hips up and back and press back to down dog. Or from down dog, we're going to drop the hips coming into our up dog or our big cobra and then pull up and back into our down dog. Good. Let's do that 3 more times. Coming forward, open up the heart, be strong there. Pull the hips up and back. If that doesn't feel good, just come forward to plank. Strengthen the shoulders, pulling up and back. 1 more time. Forward. Maybe the hips drop, the chest, the shoulders drop back, and then pull up and back. Oh, beautiful. We're going to drop back to our knees. Lower them slowly. Or maybe, as an extra challenge, you keep your legs straight and you do this little push-up with straight legs. That's if you're feeling really super fit today. We're going to do our little push-ups again. Spin the creases of your elbows forward. Shift the weight forward so your weight is in your hands more than your knees. Lower down. However far, not all the way is necessary. And then lift and press yourself back up. Maybe it's just a small bend in your elbows. Lift and press yourself back up. Try to engage your core so that more muscles are working than just your arms to support. Can we do 2 more? Even if it's just a little bend and press back up. Maybe you're bringing your chest all the way to the ground. Ooh. We're going to lower now, slowly, the chest. Kick the legs back out and inhale into your back bend. Perfect. This time though, we're going to drop all the way back to the floor. And we're going to take the hands underneath the forehead. Give a little rock for your back. And we're going to draw the right heel in towards our sit bone. And reach back for the right foot. And then take a little stretch here of the thigh. As we stretch the thigh, draw the right shoulder back. So instead of letting your right shoulder be very passive, collapsed towards the floor, really open it back. Pressing the thigh down into the ground, just 1 more breath like that. And then I'd like you to actively kick your foot into your hand and feel how that pulls your shoulder back even more. You can kick the foot into your hand and maybe you lift your gaze and you're just looking towards the front of the mat. Or swing your left elbow close beside your chest so that your forearm is on the floor, forearm on the floor. And then kick the foot actively back into your hand. pull the chest forward, your gaze is forward, and that should really activate and stretch the right shoulder, the right side of the chest. Hold on to the foot is kicking back into the hand. And then exhale, let the elbows swing out, let the leg drop. Just take a moment, both hands under your forehead. Let the hips rock side to side. And then the other side, left heel towards the left sit bone, reaching back for the foot, passively stretching for a moment. We're just stretching through the front of the hip and thigh, pressing the hip bone down into the floor. A beautiful stretch there. Slow, deep breath. All right, then starting to actively kick the foot back into your hand. Feel it dragging the arm back. We could just lift our gaze and that could be enough. Or swing that right elbow in towards the side. Maybe we lift up onto the forearm. Perfect. Keep kicking the foot back, really active so you feel that it's actively drawing the shoulder back. One more breath here. Perfect. And release. Drop both legs, bring both hands forward, and take a little rock. Now I have two options for you. If your back doesn't tolerate back bend, full bow pose, come onto your back now and do bridge pose instead, with the emphasis of really trying to wiggle the arms underneath your back body as much as you can. Just to give you a visual what that looks like. This is just an option, so stay on your belly if you don't need it. Feet underneath the knees. You're gonna lift your hips up, wriggle, wriggle, wriggle those shoulders under. You might even interlace your hands and press the knuckles down. Or we're gonna try full bow pose on our belly. If you're feeling okay and up for it, we're gonna draw both heels in towards our sit bones. Reach around for both of your feet. Forehead down to start. Start to kick the feet actively into your hands. Feel your shoulders pull back. And then gradually peel the chest, the forehead away from you. Kick the feet into your hands. Try to lift the thighs a little higher. But really the emphasis is on opening up the chest. Beautiful. Lift your gaze. Beautiful. Breathe and see if you can rock there with your breath. Perfect. If you're in bridge pose, hug those knees towards each other. Imagine there's a pillow between the thighs. Yes. Lift the heart a little bit more towards your chin. And then everyone come down, beautiful, from wherever they are. If you're in your bow pose or on your belly, press yourself all the way up. Hips go back towards your heels, coming into child's pose. If you're on your back, hug your knees in toward your chest. So we all get a stretch for our back. If you're on your back with your knees in your chest, take a little rock or gentle. If you're in child's pose, just use your breath to help enhance that. And we'll all come back up to our seat. If you're on your back, coming to your seat. If you were in child's pose, coming to our seat. We're going to come to our seat with our right leg extended and our left foot up and over that right leg. Left leg up and over. Poke the right elbow around your left knee. Pause there, get nice and tall. And then sweep the arm back behind you, looking over your back shoulder. Great. As we twist over, make sure your knee still keeps tracking back towards the center. Keeping the right foot, the toes active, and actively pressing through the sit bones to the crown of your head, actively pulling the left shoulder back. Actively sneeze. Sorry, it's so loud in the microphone. One more. Oh my goodness. And come back. It's not easy when I'm allergic to the dog. Kick the legs, give them a little shake. And we're going to do the other side. So we're going to pull the leg in, up and over, wrapping the left arm around the knee, sit bones rooting. Sweep that right arm around behind you, looking over your back shoulder. Root down as we lengthen. Deep twist. Beautiful. And eventually coming back around to center, extending both legs out in front of us, a little bend in the knees. Let's take a big breath up and then a big bow as we fold. Let the head drop. Let the shoulders relax, stretching across the lower back, middle back, upper back with breath. And slowly we'll rise, coming back to our seat. Pull the legs back in. And let's just finish with our hands on our heart for today. Perhaps closing the eyes and just taking a moment with your heart. With whatever is there, with whatever is needed to be said or felt or heard. I encourage you to develop a warrior's heart, one that is strong yet still flexible, that is responsive, that is able to bounce back. And taking a nice deep breath in, arms reaching up to the sky. And exhale, give yourself a bow, forehead drop. And thank you so much for your practice today. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful day, everyone.